Slack Nation. Ha, ha. Let's see if I can do this without getting in a car accident. My camera is in my cup holder right now. I'm watching the road. Man, off to an epic week. I just saw the scorecard come in. It is almost entirely green. And it was a strong showing this week. So hard work to be proud of. Thank you all for so much you're doing. I wanted to just chime in quickly to talk about sort of an influx of new team members that we have. Extremely happy to be welcoming them to ATS. And I know that all of us are going to work together to give them the welcome that they deserve. And training here is a team effort. It is not realistic to think that I am going to be out on training routes all week with 4 people. I can get on shorter routes with these guys to impart whatever knowledge I have, but obviously these team members at some point are going to need to have pairings with strong people who have been here for a little while. We have Vincent, we have Carl, we have Justin, all on the road right now, who are new road team members. We're excited to have them. So these folks are going to be paired, driver with helper. Potentially a new driver would be riding with a veteran driver. I might have a new helper with a driver who's been around for a little while, and then I'll get regular teams back together. They're not going to be split up for long, maybe a day, and then they'll be back together. I'll try and cycle them through, switch it up for another day. I hope we all understand why that has to happen and how this type of training is a team effort. The second thing, trucks. I do not have really anything to do with who's on what truck in a day. It sort of used to be like we could pick them like that. It's not so much anymore, to some degree, but mostly we're trying to load whatever we have that's not in the shop, that's at the yard, and then we're trying to load next whatever it is that either comes back from the shop or gets off a route the earliest. Sometimes that can be very difficult to determine ahead of time. So as trucks roll in, they get assigned. A lot of it has to do with whatever the warehouse has ready to load at that point. That's the deal. Sometimes on the longer routes, a TL1 or a county run, I'm trying to get those put onto newer trucks. But the newest trucks are also not always the ones that are going to go the longest, because we try and rotate them a little bit. We have 673. We like to keep that a little bit closer sometimes, so it's not going 400 miles every day. And so that's just kind of obvious. That's a type of preventative maintenance. So that's another thing that it does. I guess the third thing would be when I do the truck check-ins in the morning, like I've said before, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to who was on what. Well, I mean, that's not true. I have a manifest in front of me. I'm making names on the check-in sheet, but it's nothing personal. I go check what packets we have in the receiving office. I mark them off. I go out to the trucks and get the packets that we haven't received, and then I just go down the line. This TO1, and I check it in, fuel tank, I look in the box. I always take snapshots and I send them off. When I'm done with that, I go upstairs with the packets and a clipboard, and I start going through the manifests and the paperwork. And when I see something wrong, I snap it and I send it to you guys. Sometimes I circle something, and then when I see that things have been done really well, I also try and send a congratulatory message as well. So these are the things that I do in a day. None of it's personal. I care a great deal for all of you. I value all of you. Routes are primarily scheduled according to the hours that I have on the board. I set a spreadsheet that's kind of a rough-in of weekly hours. When I say a rough-in, it means I can look at the manifest for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I can see exactly what your hours are, and I'll know